guys, welcome back. So today we are playing with something new and exciting because they're beautiful. So we're gonna be playing with the new BH Cosmetics, what are these called? The Marble Luxe 10-piece brush set. So this is the box it comes in. If you can see here, let me get the big one here. So it's a rose gold ferrule with a marble handle. These are the prettiest brushes I've ever seen, and as soon as I saw them like online on their Instagram, I immediately knew that I was gonna buy them because they're beautiful. So I figured I would pick them up, and I've never tried BH brushes before, so I figured we would go ahead and play with them together. So we do have the 10-piece set. It comes with face brushes, eye brushes, all that junk. So if you want to see me put these to the test, then let's just go ahead and get started. So this 10-piece set retails for $38, which I feel like is kind of expensive, but we'll see. They are incredibly soft, like a friggin' bunny's tail soft. Like, it's intense. They feel nice. They're not heavy, but they're not like lightweight and like plasticky either. They feel really nice. Like if you felt like elf brushes are nice, but they're very like lightweight and you can feel how cheap they are. These don't feel like that at all. They have a decent weight to them, and they feel nice. So we will see if they are worth $38. Okay, so the foundation brush in this set is the number 3. And they say on here that it's the deluxe buffer brush. So it is a very, very intensely, densely packed brush. It's that like rounded kabuki brush type. It's not like flat or anything, but it's really not that rounded either. It's interesting. Now I have already washed all of these, so I can say that they did not fray or start shedding or anything on me, which is awesome because most cheap brushes usually do. With this one in particular, I noticed was very hard to clean just because of the fact it's so densely packed. It took forever to get all of the soap out of like the center of it. I had to sit there for like 20 minutes just digging at it, trying to get it all out, so that sucked. And it took a lot longer than the others to dry also, so just keep that in mind. Although if you're like me and you don't normally use foundation brushes, then you might not care, but just wanted to mention that it was kind of a bitch to clean. So since this is a very dense like buffing brush, I don't want to go in with a like liquidy foundation because I just find that really liquidy foundations just don't work well with foundation brushes. So I'm gonna go with a stick foundation. So I'm gonna use the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation in the shade F1. And I'm also gonna add in a little bit of this NYX Hydra Touch Oil Primer, just because I find that this foundation really needs some extra hydration when it comes to my skin. I'm just gonna put a dot here, and a little bit right there. And I'm just going to very quickly kind of buff this in. It's really soft. It's not like scratchy when you actually like stamp it, which again, I found a lot of cheap brushes feel soft until you actually like try and like stamp them, and then it gets like scratchy on the end. Okay, so there's foundation done. I feel like it blended out really quickly. It was really soft and just kind of easy, and it's not too big, so you can kind of get in those crevices, but it's not too small either, so it's really quick to kind of get all over the face. And it doesn't seem to be like moving the foundation like once it's already blended out, if that makes sense. Like I keep going over it and it's not like picking it up and like moving it or anything, so that's cool. Okay, so I did my concealer. If you're curious, I just mixed the NARS Radiant Creamy with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. So if you're curious, that's what I used. So I'm gonna set my face. I'm conflicted because there's really not products that I would normally use to set my face in this set. There's 2 brushes that could work for my under eye, but they both seem a little dense, but we'll try them. So this is the number 6 and the number 4, which the number 4 is called the Domed Detailer Brush, and number 6 is the Multitasking Face Brush. So feel like I'm going to try this one first, the number 6. So I'm just going to take my regular Makeup Forever Ultra HD setting powder. Okay, so that actually worked pretty well with the number 6. I thought it was going to be too dense, but it really does have a nice like fluff to it, so it kind of bends and you can really work it any way you want. So that actually worked really nicely. Okay, so for setting the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with the number 1, which is this massive domed beast of a brush. I don't normally set my face with brushes. I just find that it gives a more powdery feel, but for the purpose of this video, we're gonna go ahead and do it just because that is what this brush is meant for. So I'm gonna use a pressed powder. This is the L'Oreal Pro Glow Longwear Foundation. So I'm just gonna swirl that in, get a healthy amount, and just kind of stamp it. It really is like intensely soft. Like I don't even feel like I'm This brush has like one rogue hair that isn't like longer, so it should be closer to the middle, but it's not. So I'm just gonna pluck that out of there. Okay, so that actually worked pretty well. Again, it's really not my favorite way to do it, but I'm gonna reuse this brush for bronzer here in a minute so we can kind of get an idea. Okay, so finishing up the face for bronzer, I'm gonna take the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. This is just like a little mini size that I got as like a sample. And I'm gonna take that same powder brush like I said, get that, I'm gonna concentrate it like on the tip. I picked up too much there. Wow, okay, I really like this for bronzer. It just gives such a like diffused wash of color. Oh, that looks so nice. And it's like, it's so big and fluffy, it basically blends itself. That's freaking amazing. I think my only complaint about this brush is the fact that it's so long, which kind of gives it too much like wiggle room. I feel like if it was a little bit shorter, it would work a tad bit better, just because like when you do this, it kind of like, the entire thing just like flattens. Does that make sense? It kind of makes it a little annoying to kind of like get a smooth pass, because like by the time you're coming back, it's like stuck, and it's a tiny little complaint. Okay, so I'm gonna use the number 2 brush, which looks like this. It's like a really big tapered brush. It's actually called the tapered powder brush. And I'm gonna take that same bronzer and I'm gonna kind of contour with this. I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm just gonna take it on the tip again and try to get a little bit more of like a defined line there. Okay, so again, I'm having that trouble where it's so long that it kind of, it's not very smooth to take back and forth. Okay, that didn't really work, but just figured I would try and use it. I feel like it would work, it just, I'm not exactly the kind of person that can contour with bronzer. I'm a little too pale for that. So, moving on, the next brush I'm going to use is actually not from this set, so I'm sorry about that, but it's like my dream blush brush, I think. So this is called the V2, and it's like a tapered powder brush, but it's like domed at the top. And I feel like this is going to be perfect for blush when I really want like a soft diffused amount, because all the other blush brushes I have are very like compact and like dense, and they're nice, but they're not great for just like a really soft blend, you know? So I'm gonna take the Flower Beauty Flower Pots in Peach Primrose. Yes, that is exactly what I want. It's exactly what I wanted you for. This is the perfect, just like soft blending blush brush. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, finally have like the best blush brush ever. I'm just gonna go back in with that big fluffy brush and kind of blend all this together so it's seamless. Okay, so moving on for highlight today, I'm going to take the number 5 brush, which looks like this. And this is the Duo Fiber Highlighting Brush. So it's like, it's very interesting. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. You'll see it in a close-up. So I'm just going to take this and dip this into the Fenty Kilowatt Highlighter in Lightning Dust. Doesn't pick up a lot of product, which is probably good for highlighter. I'm reserving judgment. I'm reserving judgment. Okay, no. This brush is not my favorite for highlighting. If you like a soft, natural kiss of glow, you'll like this brush. Otherwise, no, it just doesn't. It just kind of diffuses the highlight a little more than I prefer. I'm actually going to take the brush that I used to set my under eye and try and highlight with this. Because this is the kind of brush that I would normally use, where it's like a tapered, fluffy brush. See if that does. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I like this brush better. The Duo Fiber brush, there's not a lot of bristles on it. It's very like a thin, not very packed brush. So there's just not a lot for it to pick up a lot of product, if that makes sense. So I prefer a more dense, fluffy brush rather than something like that, so that it really picks up a lot of product and lays it down, and then I can kind of go in and do my own blending as I please. So, not a fan of the Duo Fiber brush for highlighting. It would probably be great for contouring. You can really see that because it's like the perfect shape to kind of get right in that area. I feel like it'd be really good for contouring. So, okay, now moving on to the eyes, I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsessions palette. So I'm gonna create a look using only these 4 brushes that came in the kit. So we have the number 7, 8, 9, and 10, which are all eye brushes, obviously. So you've got like 2 like fluffy blending brushes. You've got 1 like flatter blending brush, kind of like the Morphe M433, and then you've got a flat packing brush. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take the fluffiest brush in this set, and I'm just going to take this middle brown here. Okay, so next I'm going to take this reddish color up here on the number 9, which is it's another fluffy brush, but it's more of like a pinched fluffy brush. Okay, now I'm just going to take the number 8, which is like the really flat fluffy brush, and I'm going to take the dark brown in this palette. It's really more of a dark purple, but I'm really enjoying these brushes. They're very soft. They're picking up a nice amount of product. They're laying it down really easily. They're blending it out. They're not getting choppy or anything. I'm really enjoying these brushes, and they're so soft and easy to work with. So I'm just going to... Okay, so for the shimmer on my lid, I don't want to use the gold that's in the Huda Beauty palette. So I'm going to go in with the BH Cosmetics palette, the something neutrals. It's their new one. It's in white packaging. I should have been using this the whole time. I just kind of blanked on that idea. Okay, so I'm going to take this shade right here. It's like a pinky bronzy gold type of shade, and I'm going to take the flat shader brush and load her up. This is something that I would normally use my finger for, so I'm not going to fault this brush for not being great. I'm just going to go in with my finger just to finish this. There's a ton of fallout from that shimmer shade. So I'm just going to take the number 8, it's that pinched fluffy shading brush thingamajigger, and I'm just going to take that first medium brown shade on the lower lash line. This is like the perfect brush for the lower lash line. My under eye is covered in glitter, damn it. That's a hot mess. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of that purpley brown on the edge of this. And just put that right on the outer edge. Kind of connecting it up with the top lid. Okay, so this is the final look that I created with the BH Cosmetics Marble Luxe Brush Set. So, in all, I really enjoyed these brushes. They're incredibly soft. They do their job really well. Most of them are versatile enough so that you're not constrained to what they're necessarily made for, which I appreciate because, you know, everyone has different preferences of what they like to use different brushes for. I think it's a great deal, honestly. 10 brushes for $40 basically, that makes them $4 a piece. That's a really good deal. Like, most e.l.f. brushes aren't even $4 a piece, and to have them be this beautiful, this nice, totally worth it. Now, if you're not super interested in like the full set, I did try out this brush, the V2, which is honestly just as soft as all of these. They're not as pretty, and they're not quite as nice, but super nice. I think this brush was like $2. So if, you know, you just, in all, let me just say, I'm recommending BH brushes all together. This set is beautiful, and if you're super interested in having this like beautifulness sit on your vanity like I was, then definitely go for the set. However, if you're just looking for some really nice, soft, well-made brushes that do their job really well, BH brushes in general are really nice. This brush is gonna be one of my favorites. Like, it's exactly what I've been looking for blush. I'm so freaking excited. So, I really enjoyed these brushes. I think they did their job really well, and I highly recommend them. So, I hope you guys liked today's video. I hope you like seeing me try these brushes out. I don't know if this was like a weird idea, but I just felt like it would be a great video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you did, if there's anything else you would like me to try out in the near future. But other than that, I hope you guys will subscribe before you leave, catch the rest of my videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!